What's happening?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's it going?
How's it going, guys? How's everything?
Good, good so far.
First of all, thank you guys for setting up this meeting and getting everybody here. Electric scooter guy, the average guy. I watch you guys like crazy, so this is gonna be an amazing time and hopefully very educational and helps a lot of people out.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So, what should we get started with?
If you want, I would really like to know the experience you're having with the Dualtron Limited.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. So, I've been riding it for about maybe 20 miles so far, so it's pretty new to me. I do like it. The only thing is that I'm not a big fan of the square wave controllers. One of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of the square wave controller is because you either get 100% power, like full throttle, or zero power. So even if you barely tap the little trigger, it automatically wants to go. But it does have a lot of power, though, that's for sure. It's very heavy. It's a little difficult to steer around with the steering damper, but if you don't have the steering damper set up almost close to its maximum level, you will get speed wobbles, and it's kind of scary. Um, let's see what else. The way you have to stand on it is kind of weird because they made the deck wide because of the big battery, but it's not really that long. So to compensate for the length of the deck, they put these little steps that go upwards, like in a curve that goes like this, and you're supposed to rest your foot there. But when you do that and you put your other foot on the front, you kind of lose a little bit of stability, and that's what ends up causing the speed wobble. So if you're not standing right, comfortably on the scooter, you could end up experiencing that. So other than that, I mean, it seems to be working pretty good. It has like I took it out for like 20 miles and I still had 95% battery life, so it's a
Wow,
huge freaking battery. I have a
wow.
feeling that that thing's gonna like give me a ton of range, and I'm most likely gonna have to do a range test video on that one too, like I did with the RS, and see how much it gives. Because on the RS I got 60, but that was going like 19 miles an hour, so pretty slow, almost like eco mode. So on this one, I'm curious to see what it will do, but it seems to be pretty cool for the
Ha,
most part, though. I do like it.
ha, ha, have you tried to test the top speed on it yet?
That I haven't. I know it's supposed to top out at about 65 or so, but
Yeah.
I haven't tried it out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, because normally, dude, I like to go like 40 or 45 max. So
Yeah,
going
yeah,
above like
Yeah.
45, dude, is some pretty scary stuff.
I know.
Uh, uh, um, I'm surprised that it has stability issues. I know you made one of the most important videos about how to fix the stability issue with the RS. That like I have seen other reviewers, other YouTubers like post it up and actually commend you because a lot of people were experiencing that issue. So I'm kind of surprised that Dualtron is actually experiencing that with the limited. Uh, is this the 2024 version or like they're older or something like that? Do you
I
even know? Because like,
I'm not 100% sure, and the main reason why is because I got it from a friend, and the crazy part is that he came over from Florida to visit, and he's part of the RS group. So to see him come over here and then buy a Dualtron like within a day of him arriving was pretty crazy. So he
yeah,
got it like used, but almost in new condition. So it only had like 50 miles on the odometer. So
oh
I'm not
wow.
sure what year it is, if it's a 23 or 22. I highly doubt it's a
Well,
24.
Well, the only reason I asked is because they're updating all their lineup right
Yeah.
now. They did the Dualtron 2 update that I heard about. The Thunder 2, the Thunder 3, and I think they might go up the chart after that. But so far, I know they're doing updates, but they're not the only company that are doing it. I know there's gonna be a 2025 version of the RS to fix the stability issues with it, and I think maybe I think it was the brake or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was the
The
brake.
rear brake was.
Yeah, the rear brake issue, which it's kind of a common thing, and then also the steering damper. I'm not sure how they're gonna change it, but I mean, I gave them ideas when I made the damper myself, like the modified. But it's up to them what they want to do. Because on their first gen one, or technically their beta sample, they had the same design of the little brick, but it was made out of solid rubber. And the problem with it was that it would make like squeaking sounds if you tighten it too much. But then if you don't tighten it enough, it ends up having speed wobbles above 40. So I don't know. Hopefully they fix that issue, or maybe put an external steering damper. The only thing I see bad about the external steering dampers is that you have like a turning range limitation. So, like for example, on that Dualtron, since it's on the left side, when I make a left turn, it doesn't make a full turn. So it's like maybe 70% of a turning ratio versus 100% going to the right, because the right side doesn't have one. But we'll see how it goes, because I know that they're renaming the RS as well. I think they're calling it a V9 or something like that. It's weird. I don't know
Wow.
why they're renaming it.
Huh.
And
That's
Maybe
this
they're
was
trying
just
to get
mentioned
away
on
from the
CES.
reputation, because I mean, people love the scooter, but everyone's had to like fix stuff just about that I've seen. I haven't seen too many people once they've had it for a period of time not have any issues at all. So
Yeah, at least within the first couple 100 miles, you end up having to do something already to it, which is surprising.
exactly.
Because I have a Segway GT1, and I haven't had to do any maintenance on that thing, not even the brakes. Like that thing is so solid, it's just slow. Like it goes
Uh,
about 34 miles an hour, but because it only has a single motor, the torque is not strong enough to get you going quick. But once you're up to speed, it stays there.
Gotcha.
But it's a really good scooter too, though. Like it's very well built.
I haven't been into scooters that long, probably about 6 months, and I started with just a Hover One Journey Max, and
Nice.
I've only ridden dual motor scooters, and I have a Klima now, but yeah, so I've never even well, my neighbor let me jump on his before I ever had a scooter that was like a single motor, but I didn't even really try to do anything on it. Just I didn't even know, I just kind of jumped off, like, okay, thanks, and I went and got the Journey Max. But um, so I have like pretty much zero experience with single motor scooters, and I there's no way I could spend money on one myself right now at this point without knowing that it would perform to the same level. Even the Journey Max has decent, like, torque and takeoffs, because it's the dual motor. I mean, it's a cheap scooter, but it moves pretty well.
Yeah.
I feel as though the 2025 lineup, we have just so many things coming out, especially with now that the CES show just happened, and we got to see a little bit of what's coming out, especially with the new Bora Motors, the new Emotion RS that we heard about. We got also the new Teva Run. Also, it's just so many things that are coming out that we're hoping to see if they fix those issues that they've been running into. You know, I don't know which one you guys are most excited about. Which one are you guys are looking for? Because I like the Bora Motors one, that all white one, that dual stem
Yeah.
one is like
That's the one I'm excited
that's
about
like
too.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
incredible looking machine, man.
and they said it's going to be possibly under $4,000. So I actually commented. I said, whatever you got to do to keep this scooter under $4,000, that's what you got to do. And that was my opinion.
No, that was
But
good
yeah,
because I got some specs from Melvin, and he was telling me that it's supposed to have dual 3,000 watt motors that peak at 6,000 each. So total 12,000 watts, like peak power.
wow,
So
wow.
it's crazy because the RS that I have, now that it has those 60 amp sine wave controllers, it does 10,000 watts, which is why you
Oh,
can reach like 63 to 65 miles an hour, which is insane.
wow.
So that's really
Yeah,
good. The battery, he told me that it's supposed to be 72 volts, 50 amp hours, but they could always change it. But he is trying to keep the price decent, like so people would actually buy it.
exactly. Exactly. That's what I feel like they don't have a good scooter in that range. You go
No,
from
not really.
the Cruiser V2 up to the Roadster. It's
Yeah,
such
and the
a
roaster is
such a big
expensive.
jump. Yeah, so I'm not even interested in approaching that.
I'm not looking at the roaster. I'm not looking at it. That's above
No,
my
not at
pay
all.
grade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I seen it in
it's
person and it's nice, but like I feel that for its price that they're asking, they should have like added more safety features. Like I feel like having front turn signals on the scooter would be a good idea. So like even the Roadrunner Pro that I have, I had to like modify that thing just to make sure that it has like the front turn signals, appropriate rear turn signals, and a better brake light. Because the one that comes with its stock, it just flashes off and on, so it doesn't get brighter, it doesn't get darker, nothing. It's like a blinking light. So here in LA, they're pretty strict about that, about having like good tail lights and turn signals. So that's probably why I haven't been pulled over on that thing, because I pass by police all the time and I've never gotten pulled over like other people have claimed they have, at least online or social media. But it would be nice to see that. But it seems like Emu has a habit of just doing that, like cutting corners, and
oh
it's
really?
just with the pretty much just with like the lights. I've heard a lot of people already that when they looked at that, I think it's called the STX, but it's basically Project Daytona, the white scooter.
Sure, sure.
But they put like a solid tail light, and the turn signals are built into it. But when you turn the turn signals on, they blend in with the red light, so you can't really see them if you have the brake on. But it's
Oh
better
yeah,
to try to
gotcha.
separate them, and they
Gotcha.
haven't done that. So they did that with the Roadster as well.
I
Gotcha.
wonder if they do that to lower the cost.
That's what I'm thinking. But I mean, if they give you
Yeah.
updates or at least the chance to be able to upgrade to something different, I think that would be pretty cool. Like, in case somebody really does want to do that. But hopefully they keep it under 4. That'd be really cool.
I really think they need, just from from a marketing standpoint, they need a $4,000 scooter. They don't compete in that, in that segment of the market. So I think it's smart
Yeah.
on their part, and it's a big segment. $4,000. I mean, a lot of people are looking for that level of a scooter.
Yeah.
So
That's one of the reasons why the Roadster hasn't really been sold, because it's like priced at 57.95 or something like that. So
yeah,
it's almost
yeah,
6K.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
That's a lot for a scooter. Not a lot of people can reach that.
yeah.
So
No
I
kidding.
feel that if they were to make a 4K scooter, I think they would sell more. Like that's one of the reasons why they decided to make a Cruiser V2, but with the dual motors, and they're doing a
Hmm.
60-volt version to give
Yeah,
it
I mean,
more
I'm
power.
pretty excited about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw that one.
it's basically the same size as the Cruiser V2, but it just has an added motor, slightly bigger battery, and it has full hydraulic brakes. So that's really
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, really nice. The only thing that was interesting to me was because I've been tracking it, and I thought they were going to come out with a dual motor at the same time that as they released a single motor.
That's what
Like
I
they were
thought
going to
too.
have two different versions, right? And then they only had the 52-volt single motor, and so I was like, okay, so if they come out with a dual motor, but it's still a 52-volt system, you're going to lose some performance,
Yeah,
And so I was thinking, I don't really know if I like that, you know what I mean? So then they come out with a 60-volt version. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they have an upgrade, but the difference between the two are $500, and you can upgrade your 52-volt system, but it doesn't change it to a 60-volt system. So you're still,
yeah, you're
I was
still
like,
at 52 volts, but you're probably going to have just better acceleration and hill climb, but you're going to
oh,
lose range.
absolutely, exactly. That's my point.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So
You're
I'm
gonna get
glad they
I
better.
think
made the
that's
60-volt, but they should have released it at the same time.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's the main thing right now that everybody's looking for is the range. Because charging the scooter sometimes depending on what you got, you need like double chargers and stuff like that. It takes
Yeah.
a long time. You know, and that's an issue that we all run into. And I think Borough Motors is doing it right with this Project Daytona
Yeah,
with the
absolutely.
dual stem. I know they're coming out with that, and G Space is also coming out with the Mars 12. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I haven't, but
They improved on the battery. Yeah, they improved on the battery, the braking, and also the tri- uh the trigger for um the throttle. They improved on it also.
Nice.
So for the March 12th, and I think we're gonna have a lot of competition in that price range for 3,000 or 4,000 this year. So it's gonna be pretty dope to see. Also, Run is coming out with the 2025 model. I know they were having stability issues around 55 miles per hour, but
Yeah.
supposedly they resolved that issue.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
hoping they did because on that one, it was the 7260R model. It's the one with the 13-inch like tires. And
yes.
I'm thinking the problem is the size of the tires. That I guess it's because they're also 5 inches wide. It's kind of causing stability issues. So that's one thing that I am a little bit concerned about that Project Daytona because the tires are 13-inch and they look identical to the ones that are on the Dualtron X Limited. So I'm a
Mm,
little concerned about that, but I'm hoping that it has good stability. That's one of the reasons why Melvin said about doing a dual like stem or like a fork design to kind of
Yep.
have
mhm.
better stability, like the GTR. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure. Hopefully it works out. I'm hoping I can test it out as well. I'm not sure if the one that they showed at CES was just like a beta model,
Right.
but I'm hoping I can test it.
Nice. Yeah, I'll be waiting till it comes out. I'll be looking at a scooter. I mean, possibly. I'm considering getting another scooter in the spring, possibly. And so I don't want to wait forever. But not, this one, he says it's going to be under 4,000. I'm seriously, thinking about holding out until it comes out to try to get it. I love the stability. Like any scooter that has like super stability, I think is the key. Like I don't want to have to use a steering damper.
Yeah.
I still want the agility of, to be able to, maneuver the scooter and then at the same time have it be stable at decent speeds. Even though I don't go that fast most of the time, but you still want, if you do, the scooter not to get speed wobbles.
Yeah, see, that's one of the reasons why
Um,
InMotion did that with their steering damper on the design of their RS, because they categorized it as a racing scooter. So it can't be a racing scooter
mhm.
if it doesn't have a good turning ratio. That's number one.
Exactly.
And the
Exactly.
fact that they made it with an adjustable deck height was really cool. So it has 4 levels you can adjust it to. And then the same thing with the handlebar stem. You can adjust it higher or lower. Like that's freaking genius, man, the way they came up with it. So I'm hoping that this STR or STX, well, Project Daytona, we'll just call it that for now, that it actually
Mhm.
has good stability with the way it is, like being designed.
It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it's super, super stable. And that's one of the most important, things. When I got the Klima, um, no one that I know has to put a steering damper on the Klima. So I mean, it only goes like 42, but um, I'm coming from the Journey Max, so that's a big step up. I haven't hit 42 on it yet. I haven't even hit 42.
Yeah.
So
I think that dual stem is the way to go right now for stability wise. I know some people still have the single and stuff like that, and they put steering dampeners, but I don't know why. I think just dual is like that's the future. That's where we need to go just for stability. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I think I agree with you 100%. I think it would be a good idea to have it like that. I haven't heard
Mhm.
people have much like speed wobble issues with the Wolf King like design since they have like that dual stem thing. But I'm hoping that other scooter manufacturers like start changing the design. I know sorry, not GT. Segway came out with the GT3 and that's basically replacing the GT1 and then they have the GT3 Pro which is replacing the GT2. So it's more power, bigger battery and it seems to be pretty stable. There were a lot of people that were like complaining about the GT2 and GT1 being heavy but they wanted more power and they wanted a bigger battery. So Segway basically did that. They brought in the GT3 and the GT3 Pro. They made the frame a little bit slimmer. They put a bigger battery and they put more powerful motors on it. So
I
hopefully,
saw
it
that.
works.
I saw that, but when I look at the specs, it doesn't really translate. I mean, it goes about 5 miles an hour faster, and the range is the same. So
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I was like, okay, how what? Why go to? I mean, they went up 2 steps in the battery size, right? They went from 52 to 72 instead of just getting 60, and then I would really think that would add to the range. I mean, I'm thinking maybe there's just some weird testing going on because you seriously should get something out of jumping 2 steps up like that to that much bigger of a battery.
Yeah, because I know that there's a guy that goes by the name Keezy eWheels on
Yes.
YouTube, and he was
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
very first guy to test out the ST2 Pro, which technically I think was probably a code name for the GT3 Pro, and he was able to take it like above 50 miles an hour. So it was impressive, and it basically looks the same. There's some minor cosmetic changes. They put like that X light in the front, and they gave it like a red and charcoal gray theme, which looks really nice. So, but I feel like it's basically the same scooter. And he got to test it out and he liked it, but he straight up said that, like, quality wise, how he felt it, he wouldn't basically sell his GT2 for a GT3. So he probably would buy the GT3, but like the Pro version, but not get rid of his Segway GT2.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. I really liked the look, but the way they built it, and I think that they did this for portability. They gave up on stability, and I feel like just looking at them, even though they weigh close to the same, the way they're designed looks like the GT2 is much more stable than the GT2 GT1 whatever GT3 Pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just looks. Yeah, I can't keep up.
So many GTs.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
many
yeah.
GTs, man. Got the GT1, the GT2, the GT3,
Yeah.
which only does like 31 miles an hour, and then you have the GT3 Pro that goes up to like 54. But it's
Yeah.
weird. It's I don't know why they just didn't name it like a GT3 and a GT4, or separate them. Do that ST line for like the 31 miles per hour thing, and then the GT3 with the 54 miles per hour thing. So I don't know. It's just segueing their weird marketing.
I wish they would carry more than one dual motor scooter at different
Mm.
levels. Like I wish they would have the ZT3 Pro dual motor version of that scooter. I think that would actually be a pretty cool scooter if it were dual motor.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not really into single motor, so anywhere I'm really like paying a lot of attention. It's usually to dual motors
No, yeah,
myself.
same here. Cause I was also looking at their what's this one called? It's called their Segway 9bot Max G3, because I have a G2.
Yep.
And this one is supposed to have up to 2000 watts max, and it has 1200 watts nominal. So it's going to go a little bit faster. I think they said it tops out at 28 miles an hour. So I think it's like a competitor with the Apollo. What's this one called? It's the Apollo Go, I think, because that one goes up to 27 miles an hour. Because we got a couple of other scooters to talk about too, as well.
Yeah.
And then especially Cabo with the battery fire stuff. And then also like getting dropped from dealers. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
So
I heard
that's
so many
something
rumors.
really good to talk about. Yeah,
going-
I heard a lot of rumors, and I don't know which one is true, because I've been looking online to see if I could find a GTR. Not that I want to buy one, but like just to see what everyone else is talking about. And the only place that I see it on is either CaboUSA.com, which I don't even know where they're located, if they even have a legit office or not, or if
They
their
took 'em
stuff
off
just
too.
ships from China. And then
They took 'em
Boro
off too.
Motors has a used one, like a refurbished.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
Fluid Free Rides doesn't pop up. What's the other guy's? Alien Rides is not popping up as a seller. And even like who else? I think some bike place in New York that also isn't popping up anymore. So I'm not sure if everyone's dropping them or what's going on with that.
They had to drop the name Wolf from their scooters.
Oh, I
So
remember
even-
hearing
they
about
got a
that.
lawsuit
Yeah.
because of the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the Cabo site, even now, you can go in there, but you can't actually order any because they say they're out of stock and they're getting, pretty much they have to remove all that badging off their current scooters. And then they're only going to call it the GTR, not the Wolf King GTR. It'll just be like the King GTR or whatever.
Yeah.
Suppose there's a company in Florida that makes gas powered scooters that call themselves Wolf scooters. And so
Oh,
that was the issue.
I see
Yeah,
what's
but
going on.
if Cabo is having a fire issue with the GTR, then I understand why they're not selling as much, or like they don't really want to produce them in the USA, because I know they were having also issues on top of the fire, repairing. To get parts for it was
Yeah, it was really
difficult
tough.
too.
Yeah, that and
Uh,
also the locking mechanism kept breaking on the battery for the GTR. So even though you had something to lock it, like the latch would break. So then if you go over some kind of bump or something, the battery can lift up a little bit, which that was
Wow.
pretty concerning.
Yeah, no kidding.
So good idea
so
that
it was
they
having frame
decided to
issues
make.
too.
What was that?
It was having frame issues also.
Yeah. So it's
Mm.
like concerning, because they seem like nice people. I got to see them over at Rider Fest here in Cali, and they seem really nice and everything, but just the manufacturing part needs to be improved on the GTR. That's why a lot of
They
people still go for the GT Pro.
they're pretty reputable too. I mean, everybody loves their Cabos
Yeah.
for the most part, So I was kind of surprised to hear about all these problems with the GTR because it seems like they've gotten it right so many times, previously. So it's kind of surprised me.
Yeah, that's very surprising. So I don't know if anybody else has had any issues, but I think even Yogi Steve, who had a GTR, he sold it. And he kept the RS because he really likes that one. He writes that one a lot more for his door dashing stuff.
I know he said he sold some of his Cabos. I don't remember if it was the Mantis or the GTR
Yeah, I'm not sure which one.
because Voro dropped Cabo,
Yeah,
so he's not going to promote them anymore.
Yeah, because you can't repair them that much anyways. Because like trying to get parts is going to be very difficult. And then obviously he's a partner of Voro Motors, and
Right.
he was basically helping sell the GTR and the GT Pro at the time. So if they're not going to be selling it anymore, there is no point.
Exactly.
A scooter that I want to talk to you about that we don't really talk about is the Roadrunner, the RX-7. What's going
Yes,
on
the
with that?
RX-7 is pretty nice. I actually was interested in it, but then I started seeing issues with their luminance panel lighting.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
one guy, by I think his name was Nabi Cook or something like that on YouTube.
Yep. Yep.
He reported
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all kinds of issues, man. And then the company was trying to like shut him up and like say that he was like from like a different scooter manufacturer just trying to knock down like Roadrunner. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, that wasn't cool. Not only
Yeah.
that, but Roadrunner also has a lawsuit right now against Voro Motors for the name Roadrunner, for the Emu Roadrunner Pro and the V3, including the V2. So
That's interesting.
yeah, so
Oh wow,
Melvin
didn't know
talked to me
about that.
about it. So that's another thing that going on right now with Voro. So I'm not sure if they already solved that issue because they talked to me about that like I'm gonna say 3 months ago. But
Okay.
it was surprising when I found that out.
I've heard so many people. I've heard someone say something about that, like they didn't like that Voro took that name when Roadrunner was already a brand. And I haven't been following them long enough to know who came first.
Yeah,
So,
neither have I.
like I'm not sure who's going to win on that one. But yeah, I saw some stuff on that. And then supposedly now they've replaced those panels with road glow panels.
Yeah,
And
something
they're
like that.
they're actually detachable. So if you do have a problem, which supposedly it's supposed to be much less likely to have a problem, but you can just easily switch them out by an easy disconnect cable. And otherwise they ran them straight into the battery, and you had to disconnect them and do all this stuff on the old ones.
Yeah, that's
So my understanding is their new shipment of scooters that they have the new lighting also has the new screen with it also.
yeah, the new one has the new screen. And that's another thing. There's a lot of adopters of the RX-7 that are disappointed that they still haven't gotten a lot of the things that they were promised. Especially the screen they were promised. They got something really cheap looking just to
Yep.
kind of get them
Mhm.
going. And even that Nabicook guy, he replaced the display with something different. It's almost like it's not even an RX-7 anymore because he
Oh
changed a
yeah.
bunch of things. He added like aftermarket parts. So it's not the same. So it doesn't have the same display. I don't even think it has the same motors. It's just the frame. So
Oh my
it's
gosh.
pretty
Wow.
nuts, man. Yeah. They pretty much let that dude down.
He had water going inside the scooter, and it's
Yeah.
supposed to be IP67 rating, and
Yeah,
he had
something like that.
water inside the cables or something like that. I was like surprised. I'm like, wait a minute, you're paying really high price for this scooter. Why does it have so many issues with it? You know, and I know he's not the only one that had problems with it. There was another YouTuber also that said that he was running into some issues also, and I was just there like, what's going on? Are you guys gonna give us like some info about you guys upgrading or are you helping people out? And from my understanding was one guy, he tried to like get like some warranty, and they were basically saying they were charging him for it, like even for the lights to replace them, that you had to pay for them.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
One thing I thought was kind of messed up. They said that for all the people that have these old messed up panels, they can choose to pay to upgrade them to the new panels, but they won't send them the new panels to replace them, even though the old ones technically were defective. They're not calling them defective. They're just saying,
Yeah.
you know, we'll upgrade you for a fee.
Yeah, that's not cool.
You guys want to jump
That's
back
not
on?
cool, man.
We got less than a minute. You guys want to cut it and jump back on?
Yeah, we can do that. We can
Yeah, sure.
probably
Just
come up with a
just let
different
me know when you
code.
guys are ready.
All right,
You
cool.
want to take a small recess?
Yeah, let's take a recess real quick, like maybe 15, 20 minutes and then come back.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, so let me know when you guys are ready.
Sounds good. All right, here we go. So I started recording again, so we can go ahead and continue where we left off from. So we were talking about the RX-7 from Roadrunner and their fabulous customer service.
Yeah.
Oh boy. There's quite a bit to talk about on that, isn't there?
Well, I'll tell you what. As you know, I thought about this the whole time. The first time I started seeing they were having problem with these panels, and I'm like, the panels are the defining feature of the scooter. Like,
Yeah.
it's a nice scooter. It's got nice specs and
Oh,
everything.
it's
But
beautiful.
those panels makes it look like different than any other scooter out there. And so I feel like they probably leveraged themselves pretty heavily into this, like, I mean, biggest scooter they've ever made. You know, most, you know, it's just like their ultimate scooter. And then it tanks because this flaw. You know, I know everybody was thinking the same thing. Like, wait a minute, you know, I'd rather have no panels than have them look like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, but
Yeah, that is
I think
pretty
without
crazy.
the panels, I think it would have made a big difference if they didn't include it.
Yeah, I think it would have. I think they also could have lowered the price down a bit, because right now they had it, or they have it priced at 4,000 or 4,100, something like that. And I remember Dale, which he's the owner of Roadrunner, he wanted to put it at like 4,800. So I
Oh.
feel like 48 is way too much for it. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a
that's way too
nice
much.
scooter. It's really nicely designed. It's huge compared to the RS for sure. But
Wow.
those panel thingies, the display that they put on it, which looks really cheap. He made promises he wasn't able to keep. Let's just put it that way. And he says he's going to do it.
Sure.
And he's going to be sending displays out, but he still hasn't shown what it looks like, other than just that nice digital video they made, like computerized, showing the really nice displays with the nice gauges and everything. But I don't know how he's going to really make that happen and still keep the price the same.
My thing is this: like, they know the issues. I'm happy they're at least trying to make some changes to it. I'll give them that. But these issues been here for like a while now. Like, people are still waiting for them to be
Yeah.
resolved. That's my thing with it. The biggest thing that I love about the RX-7 is honestly the removable battery.
Yeah.
Because that's an option that not a lot of other scooters offer. And you know, if something happens with the battery, at least you know you can replace it just by swapping it out. It's simple.
Yeah.
Just take it out, put another one in, and you're good to go. You know. Now, as for other scooters, I will have to probably take it to a shop.
Yeah, that is very true. Like,
so that's
unless you're used to working on
Yeah,
it, then that's another story.
Yeah, man, and that's the thing. Like, you know, you're one of those people that actually, you know, work on scooters, have experience on it, and you even found ways to, you know, make upgrades to the scooters that I didn't even know about.
Yeah.
So
You're like the mod king. You
Yeah, the
you
mod
mod
king.
everything.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep telling
Yeah,
everybody
you
that
mod
all of my
everything.
stuff that I do is beta test, man, because at any moment it can fail me. And if it works out, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
How do you
awesome.
guys feel about the solar Hyperion?
Dude, I think it's really nice. I actually like it. I kind of wish that they offered a slightly different design of the deck, because it kind of feels like they just grabbed a big metal box and they just welded on some swing arms to them. So it's weird because we have a solar here, but well, my son has one. He has a solar EQ, and That one is nicely designed. Like the edges of the deck are rounded, they're not squared off. And on this Hyperion, it just looks like a square box that they just said, let's see what size battery we can put on this and then work around that instead
Build
of
around
trying
it,
to
yeah.
like design it from the ground up. But it looks nice, dude. And the display looks really nice. The fact that you can pair your phone with it through GPS, kind of like Android Auto, Apple CarPlay type deal, where you can actually get GPS like navigation directions on the display. That's pretty rad, man. That's something I've
Yeah,
never
I heard
heard
they're
of on
trying to
any
update the
scooter.
controllers to them to make it
The
faster, I believe,
Yeah,
or
I believe
longer
so,
or
because
something like
I
that
forgot
with
where it
distance.
tops out at.
I heard they had like I think it's traction control that it messes with the top speed of it.
I think it's just the
So depending on the
acceleration.
surface you're in,
I think
or the
once you get going,
acceleration.
yeah, I think once you get going, it's okay, but like up to 30, because I guess you're probably the wheels are trying to spin faster, depending, you're trying to accelerate full speed. So the 0 to 20, 0 to 30 isn't quite so spectacular. But I'll tell you this, it's a
Bro,
super good price. It's a really good price for
Dude, it is priced very well
for what
for
it
what
is.
it does.
Yeah, no
Like
kidding.
72 volts, 40 amp hour batteries under like $3,500. Dude, that's insane.
Yeah, right. Right now it's 32. They have that discount
Oh, dude,
on
even
there as
better.
well. So exactly.
yeah.
That's a nice scooter to go with. I have to keep taking off these headphones.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
like a 1 second delay on the device that I'm using, so I'm so sorry, guys, if I keep stuttering. So what I'm gonna try to do is gonna look funny.
Nice.
I'm gonna keep like removing the headphones from my ears every time I talk, and then put them back on when I'm not talking, so I can hear you guys.
So my thing is this. I was looking because I know electric scooter guy is gonna probably buy a scooter during the spring season, and I'm trying to buy one also. And there's a lot of models that are coming out. I was really looking at the Teveron until I saw that it had stability issues. The videos of them, they scared me.
Yeah,
Because depending, like, some people going 50 or something, you get a death wobble. And it's like, it already has 2 steering dampeners. It's like, what's going on here?
yeah. I honestly think
You
that
know?
it's the 13-inch tires. The one I'm interested in Teveron also. I actually like the Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra, and that one has a
Mhm.
72 volt 60 amp hour battery, like the 7260R, but it has 11-inch tires like the RS. So it's smaller, it's more stable. It does have a steering damper, but just one. And I've seen on videos so far that no one has had any issues with that one. No speed wobble issues or like sine wave controller problems, no motor problems, so it sounds pretty reliable. The problem is that the people that I've watched online, they're all out of the US, like Italy and things like that. So there's a humongous language barrier
Yeah.
between the guys that I'm subscribed to, following them because of that Teveron Fighter Supreme Ultra, and they're able to answer some of my questions and some they can't. So they apologize and they say, "Sorry, my English is bad." I'm like, "No, dude, you're fine. Like, I should probably learn to speak Italian." but yeah, dude, it's a really nice scooter. So I think from the Teveron line, the Ultra model I would probably go for over the regular bigger 7260R, because I feel like those 13-inch tires are just probably not the best. And the fact that I got speed wobbles on the Dualtron X Limited with the same 13-inch tires, like, it's probably the tires, man. It has to be
Well, I'll tell
some
you,
issue with it. Because for some
That new
reason with 11-inch tires, there's no issues. But with 13s, I don't know what's going on with that.
the new eMove has 13.
The
Yeah,
concerning part for me.
I was like, man, those are big. They are
That's the
big.
reason why I said that I want to test it out and see how it does. And if I feel like it does speed wobbles as well, I'm like, nope. I'll just go with the Teveron instead. Because the Teveron is priced at about $4,000 as well. But it has a 72 volt, 60 amp hour battery. So I'm gonna get way more range on that thing than on the RS right now.
One thing about the Hyperion, it's supposed to be really stable, super
Mhm.
stable at high speeds. So
Yeah.
that's one really big qualities that I like about that one. Like I said, for the money, but I know we kind of moved on, but since you mentioned stability, I just kind of wanted to point back to that. I'm
No,
probably
that's
really
good.
going to wait for
Stability is
that.
good to talk about.
I'm probably really going to wait for the new eMove, to make a decision. I'm super excited about that scooter if they get it under under 4K.
My question, real quick, for the Terror Run, the Supreme Fighter, the 760R, isn't it like one of the highest scooter with range?
Well, it's supposed to be for the 72 volt system, but they also did that with the Ultra model. So they're kind of both in the same thing, but at the same time, you just pick which one you want, either the one with the larger size tires or the one that kind of looks like the RS frame wise. But they both have the same battery.
They're both the same battery.
Except that the one with the 13-inch tires is called the 7260R, and the other one is called the Ultra 7260. So it's a little confusing because they both have the Fighter Supreme name.
Yeah.
Right? That's weird. I don't know why
GTR, Fighter Supreme.
Yeah. Why couldn't they change the names?
Yeah, right. Thunder 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
It can kind of get confusing when you look at it. It's like, wait a minute, you know.
Just like the Dualtron, they have the X, the X2, and then the X Limited. So the X Limited is supposed to be the flagship of like the X line, and then the Thunder 3 that just came out, that one's supposed to be the flagship of the Thunder line.
Yeah, the X Limited, that has a huge. I know you said you're going to do a range test.
Yeah, dude.
I think it's going to take you a few days.
Amps.
I don't know if you're going to be able to just ride around with that.
Dude, I'm probably going to have to stop somewhere for lunch, and then when I'm done, continue going, dude.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine.
Or do what I did with the RS, do split it in 2 days.
No,
because that's what I had to do. I had to split the range in 2 days.
Now, real quick, I want to ask about a company that's been like making real updates, but they've been quiet. Yumi, what's going on with them?
Oh, the Yumi brand. Yeah, dude. I actually got to see one of their scooters at a group ride, and they look really nice in person. Very heavy duty build, and it looks like very well made. The guy that I was able to talk to that actually owned it, he said that he had a small issue with the motor, and quickly, dude, Yumi customer service got up on it and they sent them a replacement right away. Like, no hassle.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, zero hassle. So I was surprised about that because when you contact other people, even Volvo Motors, you have to go through a process. Like, they try to do troubleshooting stuff that you already said, I've already did this. It's not working. What else can we do? Like, they still try to like make you do it all over again just to try to see if they can avoid sending anything.
I agree.
Almost every place is guilty of this.
I completely agree.
Yeah, but for some reason, this guy, when he told me about that with Yumi, I was really surprised. So it seems like these guys don't want to stain their names. They like want to make sure that people know that they make high quality scooters, and they're priced pretty well too for their performance. I guess it's because they're not that well known.
They're really low key, but they've been steadily making improvements on, like, you know, all of their scooters. Like, you have just been seeing like just gradual improvements in build quality. You know, of course, with the batteries and stuff like that and the rotors and stuff. But, you know, like, I've been really surprised. I was looking at the Predator also, and I was just like, wow, this is a really dope scooter that people don't really talk about.
Yeah, that's a really nice scooter too.
Most Yumi owners that I see like their scooters. Most of the stuff that I see, they really they seem to stick by them. You know, kind of like, I feel like the old Cabo people that stuck with Cabo this whole time. I feel like the Yumi squad is kind of like their own little group. You know, they seem to be pretty happy with them in general. So I know every scooter has problems, and every scooter company has some problems, at least from what I've seen in my own personal experience. What do you guys think about Fluid Free Rides going out of business?
It's pretty sad because I heard that they had some of the best customer service. I know that Wired Rides also has really good customer service, and not that many people talk about them because not that many people know of their stores. Yeah, so it's pretty crazy. But yeah, with Fluid Free Rides, dude, that's nuts.
See, I'm still under warranty. So I got my Klima only a few months ago from Fluid, and I had problems. You know, I'll be honest, right out of the gate, my brakes didn't really work. The brake light stayed on regardless, because of the sensor, the electronic brake sensors weren't making a good connection in the brake lever. And then the left rear brake actually leaked all the hydraulic fluid out, and I had no pressure in my rear brake. So I ended up having to replace my brakes before I could even ride it on my new Klima. But I did not have good experience. And I mean, it wasn't like terrible customer service. It's just like it took me a full day every time to get a response. So I reached out and said it'll be 24 hours before I got a response initially. I was like, okay, fine. But then I thought it would be like back and forth rather than, you know, every 24 hours I would get a response. So it was taking me a really long time to get to a resolution. And the same thing, they wanted videos and so forth. And while I'm trying to get this, and still only getting response every 24 hours. So that was pretty frustrating. It took me a couple of weeks to finally get my scooter running after I got it.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Mhm.
Like, have you been able to talk
How
to
you guys
them
feel
to
about
find out
Apollo?
what happened?
I was going to another topic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I was wondering if you've been able to find out any info from them, like how your warranty is going to work if they go out of business. Is your warranty going to just be voided, or are they going to be redirecting you to a Toonami Direct, or how would
I've
that
already,
work?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think they're going to support. They're going to support that once they're out. I mean, I don't think they'd support it right now. If I
Yeah.
contact them, because they're not restocking parts. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna restock scooters because they don't have a future past a month or so unless they get bought out. So that and my warranty is pretty much done. I could say only because having dealt with my problems that I dealt with, I reached out to Michael Shaw. I knew he was sort of open to talk to people, so I went ahead and found his email and reached out to him, and he helped me find the problem, which is how I was able to get the new brakes from Fluid. But initially, he recommended to send me new brake cables, but he's going to charge me $50 for shipping. And I
Mm.
thought, I just got this brand new scooter in here that you sent out that didn't have the correct brakes, and you're going to charge me
$50 for
$50
shipping?
to send me to
Yeah,
send me
that's pretty
new cables
expensive.
from China.
Come on.
Yeah.
What is it?
Like, no, I'm not paying $50 for you to send me brakes on a scooter
What?
that you put out that was defective.
Yeah.
I wonder if the people that have Cabos are running into the same issues as you.
You know what? That's a good question. I wish we had somebody that owns one and what their thoughts on it.
Did you
Yeah,
say
because
that?
now
I was just leading up to some. So did you say that that Voro may buy out Nami or something similar to that?
Oh, they're supposed to form a partnership where they're
Okay,
going to become an authorized dealer for them. So
perfect.
basically, they let go of Dualtron and they let go of Cabo, but they're
Okay,
replacing them with Teveron and Nami.
I
So
like that.
that's pretty cool.
I need
So
that. Actually,
yeah,
honestly, there's no U.S. suppliers for me to go to for parts now. Even once my warranty is up, Michael Shaw did say on the Nami boards that he would honor because I posted about it. I made a post, and he said on the Nami boards that he would honor that warranty. But once again, I know it's going to come with high shipping because
yeah,
he's
because
sending it
where it's
from
shipping
China, and
from.
he's gonna So I'll be lucky. Hopefully, I don't have any more problems. Within my warranty period. So
Yeah, that would be
I
crazy.
I mean that makes of Nami and Teveron together makes me a little bit happy, because getting parts over here, especially from China, is difficult.
Yeah, it is. It takes too much time. And not only
Yeah.
that, but like the shipping cost is ridiculous.
And also for me, unfortunately, I don't have a good reputable scooter shop around me. Unfortunately, I have to go to New York City and try to find one of their shops to go get parts fixed. And I dealt with that issue because with my scooter, I had a no-name brand. It was from China. To get parts fixed for it, I'm still waiting for it, and it's been 3 months.
Oh, wow.
So it's difficult. I not now, like that's why I said like I'm kind of leaning toward the U.S. market, and I'm really focused on the longevity of a scooter because there's no reason that if I buy a scooter, it should have issues even at 200, 500 miles.
good luck.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Seriously, especially with that. That's really something, man. Yeah, I know that there is another scooter store. They're called Alien Reds. They have a decent reputation. I was surprised to hear that they're offering a 2-year warranty if you buy an InMotion RS from them. So that's
Wow.
shocking because I bought mine from Voro Motors
Wow.
and my warranty's already expired because it's
Yeah.
already been a year. So to
Wow.
have 2 years of coverage
Wow.
for the same price, it's like amazing. That's really good customer service to me.
What's your opinion of the RS? I know you like it, but I mean, you've had like a year now, and I know you've been with your ups and downs. I mean, what's your overall just kind of take on the scooter?
On the RS, I still like it a lot. It's still my preferred scooter of choice from all the ones that I have because it has the power to take me everywhere, man. That thing takes me to work. So
Yeah.
I work the night shift. I work for a window manufacturing company, and I'm a supervisor there. So for me, I can park the RS inside, so I'm lucky about that. I don't have to
Nice.
leave it outside. But I do have to put it like at the corner of the shop or the warehouse. So I can't plug it into charge, but I don't really need to because my trips are only like 8.5 miles from my house to the company, and then the
Nice.
same thing back. What does waste a little bit of battery is like going up the hills on the way back home and going down hills on the way to work. So it's kind of
Wow.
weird, but I do like it. I feel like for me, if I had to give it a grade or a number grade from a scale of one, where the one is bad and 10 is really good, it's like an eight. Because since I had to replace the sine wave controllers, that was pretty crappy. It turns out that the central controller I replaced was actually still good. The problem was the actual sine wave controller. So thankfully, I have my original sine wave controller, not sine wave controller, the central controller that I can still use. And in case something goes wrong, so since I'm out of warranty, I'm kind of lucky to have that used spare parts. But I also had to change out the motors. The motors were covered under Vora motors because the plugs were kind of like melting and they were seizing up together. So when that would happen and you try to take them apart, the pins would come apart as well with the wires dangling inside. So that was an
Wow.
issue for the RS,
Wow.
but now that I changed them, I haven't been having that problem. I feel that the issue as to why those wires burned out too, like so much easier, was because of the region braking that it has or the electronic braking. From the factory, it comes at 50%. So what I did this time with the new motors, I dropped it down to zero. And since I've dropped it down to zero, I haven't had any issues with it. So I feel that the sine wave controllers are forcing like negative energy into the motor. It's causing the wire to get hot by it trying to like give energy back into the motor to get it to slow down without you having to use your brake levers. So I think that it's still a good scooter, but it's not an easy scooter to work on. I do feel that it's really sensitive. So if you plug anything aftermarket to it, like I did with those lights, you can easily burn something out. So everything that you might want to do aftermarket, you might have to find a different way to power it with like external batteries, like what I had to do. But overall, I do like the RS. I think it's like my favorite scooter out of all the ones that I have, at least up until another one ends up popping up that I might end up liking. But for right now, the RS is still my favorite right now.
Even though you've had to rebuild it from the ground up, pretty
Pretty
much.
much. The only thing I
Yeah.
haven't had to
Yeah.
replace is the frame. Literally. Frame is the only thing I haven't had to change.
I
So
know.
it's
Nope.
crazy. So even bleeding the bricks is messy. You really do need like a friend with you to be able to bleed the brakes because you have to take off the caliper and then on one side of the caliper it has a little bleeding screw and you have to attach like something to it. And the same thing for the top. The brake handle has to be levered up straight and then you can unscrew the little screw that you have to plug in like another adapter to be able to bleed it. So it's pretty crazy.
Quick question for you. How has it been dealing with the customer service of the RS or from Emotion, you know?
From In Motion, it was pretty poor, but from Voro Motors, it was pretty decent. The reason why I say decent is
Hmm.
because they still have to get the parts from In Motion. If they don't have them in stock, they do all the work for you. So you let them know what happens with the scooter, what's going on with it, and then they basically try to troubleshoot it and then give that information to InMotion to get the parts replaced. And the reason why it takes a little bit of time is because they have to request it from InMotion. InMotion then has to ship it to Voro Motors, and then Voro Motors ships it to you. Bad thing about that is that they can't test out the parts. So there's a possibility that you might get a defective part, like that's supposed to be a warranty replacement. And then you have to go through the whole
Well,
process all over again.
yeah, because you're depending on so many connections in the chain to, to finally get somewhere. It's really inefficient. What do you
Yeah.
guys think about Paul leaving Electric Scooter Guide?
That came
Oh
to a
man.
shock to me, but I hope he continues to maybe make another channel of that unless he wants to give up on it.
That's how I found out. I was asking if he was gonna. He did a channel, Electric Scooter Juice,
Mhm.
and he put one video up, and so I went to and watched the video. Then he didn't put a video out for a while. So I asked him. I said, "Are you going to put another video out?" And he said, "I've left ESG. I'm not going to. He's like, I'm moving in a different direction." and he's going to be the work over in run social media over for VMAX. So he's now over at VMAX running social media.
Yeah,
Nice.
no, he was at a CES in the booth of VMAX actually.
Yep.
So I guess he's working with them. I mean, it's sad to see him go because
It
I
is
used to see him all the
'cause
time.
he's a great friend.
You review.
He's a great friend, and the only time we got to meet in person was actually at that Writer Fest event. It's gonna be pretty crazy to not be able to see him often because he's in San Francisco, which is like 6 hours away from me. So
Oh yeah.
we're pretty far from each other. But I hope that things work out for him. Obviously, I'm gonna still watch his videos and everything. So we'll see how things go over at VMAX. But yeah, there's a lot of people that are leaving companies, man. Like one thing that I didn't know, the head tech from Vora Motors in Panorama City, which is the main headquarters, he left the Vora Motors like I guess warehouse, and he was the head tech.
Wow.
So he was the main guy there that did all the repairs. They had a lot of experience on different brands of scooters, and he left.
Wow.
So I don't know what happened to him or what went on, but I don't know who's now repairing scooters there. But since I repair my own, it's not a big issue. But for everybody else, like that has to take their scooters there, like I wonder how much longer it's going to take now to repair, depending on who
Well,
took
listen.
over.
I think you should let them know that you do mods. The Voro Motors, you do mods.
Oh, they know
They
already.
need somebody.
They know already. I mean, I had Yogi Steve come over here to my house so I can change out a tire for him for his RS.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool to have him over here.
I already knew when I started getting in. I was like, I watched video. I was like, I'm going to have to learn to work on scooters. There's no question
Yeah.
about it. If I get one, I'm going to have to
That ends
become
up happening because
a
it
scooter
depends where
mechanic.
you live and how close your dealer is to you. That's one of the reasons why I went with Vora Motors, because they pretty much have everything in shop. So like it's not just a store. Right behind the store, they have a repair center. So if you need anything done, you can go to them and have it done. Yeah, it's gonna cost you some money because your parts may be free for warranty, but the labor's not. But
Yeah.
like I think it's a good idea that they have that. Only thing that I see bad is that their store keeps getting broken into, and it's getting Malvin, the owner, pretty irritated with that, and he's already thinking about moving from California to Texas, Austin, Texas,
Oh,
if I'm correct.
interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how things are going to work out over there if he does, but that would suck for me because I've been able to review a lot of their scooters because I drive over there to Vora Motors and
Yep.
take my camera gear out and everything, and I start recording and I ask
Mm.
questions and I get answers on the spot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's see what happens, man.
Yeah, I will tell you, people still break into stuff in Texas. I'll just be
Yeah.
honest. Like, I'm from Dallas, so I mean, I don't live in Dallas now. I'm actually in Oklahoma, a couple hours away from Dallas. But yeah, he's not going to escape people breaking into his building because he moves to Texas. But there are some benefits. Real estate is a lot better and cheaper in Texas than California. California is pretty expensive.
It's expensive
relatively.
here, man. It really is.
I
There's
think
no
I think
doubt
with the
about that.
taxes it'll be a little bit cheaper. But if he ever needs help with anything, and that kind of nature with security, tell him give me a call. I
Yeah.
might be able to help him out with that.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. He needs
If
to
he
hire
sees my
somebody to be
Instagram,
there
he'll
at
see
night.
that I'm serious. Huh?
Yeah, he needs to hire somebody to be there at night so that this way
Well,
the
tell him
store doesn't get
listen.
broken into, right?
Tell him to check my profile out on Instagram. He'll be in very good hands. Oh man. My question is this also. What do you guys think about the Apollo?
Dude, I think Apollos are pretty nice. I actually got to test ride the Apollo Pro and the Apollo Phantom, and the Pro felt nice, dude. I really liked it. The only thing that I didn't like about the scooter was just the battery. It's like 60 volts, 30 amps. So with all that
Yeah.
lighting it has and the motors and the regen braking thing, it's just not enough like to keep the battery well charged. And it has a good weight limit for like a rider. I think it's 330 or something like that, 330 pounds. But the range you're gonna get out of that thing is not gonna be that great, especially if you have like the swag lights on it. So
I think they're a little overpriced in general.
yeah, in a way,
Yeah, I think they're overpriced.
like I like the design, but I feel like that Apollo Pro should have hydraulic brakes and not drum brakes. Because it has drum brakes for the front and the rear. That's
The new
really concerning.
The new Phantom Stellar has dual hydraulics. Finally.
Yeah, it's because they did hear people's concerns about it. but I don't know just how much higher they're going to price it just because they
It's
added that.
3,500. I think.
Dude, that's a lot.
That's yeah. I know.
For
So, I
that,
don't know.
yeah, that's a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong,
I agree.
they design stuff really well, so they
Yeah.
make them look high end. But yeah, the pricing, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure people
Yeah.
are still gonna buy, but not that many.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Looks like it's winding up. I guess we'll go ahead and
Yeah, we can call it here, man. This
Yeah.
was really fun.
Yeah,
We
call
got
it.
about
awesome.
Yeah.
a minute and 30 seconds, so I enjoyed this very
Woo!
much. And if we
Hey,
do
thank
this
you,
again, it
guys.
would be cool. Maybe we can get somebody else in here as well that might
Absolutely.
have like a different kind of scooter, like someone that owns a Cabo. I want to get their
Sure.
opinion on everything that's going on with Cabo on the next video, man.
Sure,
But it'd be nice
absolutely.
to do it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, guys. Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down. Just let
Cool,
me
man.
know.
Well, let's keep in
Awesome.
touch, man.
Yeah.
We're already friends on social media, so let's just,
Will do.
get in contact with each other and we'll do another one.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right,
All right,
guys.
guys.
You
See
guys
later,
be
man.
safe. Have a good night, okay?
You
All
too,
right,
man.
you too.
Have a good one.
Bye.